Beautiful people, today we will be merging sacred geometry, languages, personal spaces, and the big crystal kingdom all on one platter, because the one cannot go without the other. Reason why it is called or termed the one, and moving everything into unified fields where everything flows so very quickly these days, because the universes are grounding on the planet. The planet is transitioning its axis position. It's to its origin in the universe, in the galaxy, far beyond that. And thus, we are changing with it. We are required to get our space and place back up there where we come from before birth. So that is all easier said than done, right? So today I will explain the vortex coming around, how to align to what is the most important body when the I am that I am, or the I am presence, has been completed. Then your spiritual embodiment in highest vibrations opens up with many crystals coming through. One of those crystals is, I got them all in my pockets, need to check. That is the amethyst from Brazil, needs to be from Brazil. There is a very light amethyst I also have that is from Peru, and there is another amethyst that is from the Thunder Bay region that you can, fish yourself in Thunder Bay in Canada. And these three make up actually the spiritual body when the I am presence is flourishing all the way into its celestial universal embodiment, or when you reclaim your eternal gate that can be found in your amygdala region. And reason why all the eternal gates are opening and measuring up with the amygdala. The amygdala region in the brain is the portal point for the eternal sigils, the eternal symbolism, the eternal geometries to come from the forefront. So it's all about liquid golden energy that is coming from eternity, and that can be lined up with the alignment through many golden designs. The gold eternal portal that brings that through very easily would be the golden arc of consciousness with that golden drop. So ages ago I designed this design. It's because I have the internal knowledge that comes through design, and many years later Spirit would confirm it. That was part of that particular gate, is also part of the Hebrew letter pay, is also pay it forward, movement, flow. That's all with all golden chemistry. So golden chemistry is very much important, because without chemistry we stay stagnant. So chemistry is a little bit similar to flowing with patterns, flowing with the movement of the universes, flowing with the pulse that we integrate in our body when installing a light body. So everybody that birthed here needs some sort of delete button to traumatic experiences of the soul, because soul is equal to ego, and was created that way to keep us from digging into knowledge, to keep us dumb, to keep us from intelligences, to keep us from, everything that we truly are. But right now, we all have been given the capacity to move right back into our authentic self and all these skills that come with it. So today, when aligning, this is one of my, it's my favorite crystal actually. It's deep purple, the scapulite purple crystal is a vortex of living light energy upon itself. So once I don't want to skip from one to the other. So if you want to follow up, if you have the I Am Presence installed and went through a purification process of any old experiences, move the body into living light where you feel the vibrations, then the entire I Am Presence moves in a crystalline sphere around the body that is truly transparent, pardon me, and that translate your vision into the omnivisions, in omnispectrums of light, when focusing on it, and thus bringing through massive links and connections to the science and spirit of the universes. So the universal sciences open up through your focus, through the alignment that you request in your personal space with the divine. And then that can go into the galaxies, that can go to your universal vibration, that can go before birth, that can go into many other lifetimes. So here many start remembering some sort of connectivity as the old worlds keep on collapsing. So a new world that is termed lighter needs to emerge, but with the, with that particular, let's say, timeline that it emerges, we need a complete collapse. And all the malfunctioning in other forces are perfectly aware of it. And so what happens is that massive engines have been put into creation to keep you more and more down. So here, the more you hold on to your light, you reclaim your light, you reclaim your eternal essence, keep tight to your I Am Presence, keep tight to the level where you're at, and then open up the next ley lines, the next links into that celestial Shambhala self-embodiment, especially in the summer months. It's all about the male-female vibration, Shambhala, Shangri-La, in the yellow and the orange rays merging together, bringing to the peach volumes of high-level intelligences and high-level sciences coming through, bringing us high-level technologies far beyond the iPhone that we know. Even though it's a play, it's a game for many, it will no longer be a play or a game, because we will become aware of the necessity to move into that next vortex that is the spiritual body that holds us on the high waters, that allows us to walk onto water, that creates actually a vast point of connectivity with all divine living light species. So not the fallen angel, not the fallen, there's so many groupings that went into oblivion, yet rising here like a phoenix that opens up from the pillar of light, out of the depleted chakra system, and thus we find the necessity for opening that vortex in the spiritual body that comes first through the alignment of what I've seen is a purple pyramid like this one, opening in the throat, which is a natural process, because if you think the throat is everything, it's the rod of power. This particular scapulite gemstone, when you breathe it through, or you invite the essence, the spiritual essence, the minerals, the vitamins, whatever you fancy, but at least it's spiritual vortex, then you will immediately, at least if you are in a light body, feel it spiraling around your spine all the way up, and then around that pyramid, if you put a purple pyramid in it that matches all these gemstones, then it rises up and merges with your eternal gate, and your eternal gate, that is actually your amygdala region, and so it refines the eye in the pineal merging with the pituitary. The pituitary gland is actually the master gland, which you can command the reopening of the entire construction into a higher construction that is needed. And so you expand with the I am, that I am, into the spiritual omnipresent body. So, and that is where the spiritual body requires not only the physical spiritual body, the energy field physical body, and that comes with a purple skull to open up that vortex to change the body into a purplish, let's say, skeletal structure that goes with the Omni Black Ray team that has that knowledge opening up. And then, of course, the movement of the water jet streams to the Thunder Way. Thunder Bay, the name of itself, connects to the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird is the phoenix rising beyond the 12 first rays, opening the invisible way to your eyes, and quite literally moves into the higher ways. There are 10 higher ways beyond the first I am presence, and then you connect with these kinds of bombing crystals. I just love it. I mean, we have as well here peridot. Peridot offers you a huge level of expansion when you invite the essence, the vibration of peridot, in this case from Afghanistan. Now, I've chosen Afghanistan quite naturally because the origin of the planet moves with or comes from the aquamarine ray, which is the highest level team vibration we can have, and the aquamarine gemstone from Afghanistan as well. So here, if you look at this design with the vortex that moves all the way up, then it's very potent. We see already like a dragon wave, a small dragon wave coming up the spine, moving that up and residing in a steadfast, through this symbolism that is symbol for the I am spiritual body, that is male and female, merging that together with that spiral. So the three designs actually flow together, and then this scapolite interlinked with eventually the aquamarine gemstone I have as well found for the first time in Afghanistan, because it is so powerful. I'll show you that one as well, because it's too beautiful here. And when beauty arises, it can flow, right? So this aquamarine array that is in its mother matrix, actually, that is, to my surprise, I got this one in the last fair in Saint-Marie-aux-Mines in France last week. I was very happy because over here, at least, the aquamarine from Afghanistan is rare to get. And so I was holding this one, another one from Pakistan, which is very near. The difference is so deep and vast. You might as well just call for the aquamarine wave from Afghanistan, because it is so potent. It has some yellow inclusions. I'm not sure what the yellow is. I don't think it is citrine or anything, but I have to find out. So it's a very beautiful species, man. So even if I hold this, I must say the strange thing with this one, if you want to work with it and open up geometrical patterns with it, there's a lot. You can subscribe to my newsletter. I'll show you a lot of designs with the aquamarine alignment geometries that I mean, if only you would have these in the body, you can open up your own geometries very, very quickly, because it's the origin of the earth. There is an aquamarine grid. It's called an aquamarine umbrella. It encompasses the entire earth. So just, you know, meditating with an aquamarine way and reclaiming your connection to the aquamarine team and the origin, the most foundational white lightning grid that has been grounding right now for the first time with the source of all sources. Imagine that. So then you have a very, very powerful engine, because if we talk about different many levels when it comes to immunity, we need to have immunity to density, to any density, to disease in thought form. We cannot have one single negative thought form. If you want to open your own geometrical patterns or work with the ones I have to offer. So here, that particular vortex, that purple one here, this is Afghanistan. This is Afghanistan. So they all create designs, because when you sit in a crystalline grid, even if it's just a foundation, and you call for the highest level of spiritual body grid, and that is actual the purple grid in Taiwan. It is hosted in Taiwan, brings through the innocence of embodiment, brings through quite some clearing, and gives you crystal clear vision, as well as I have this one here with a purplish vortex that opens up when you're in a grid. A grid has massive grid points making up a design, right? If you have one point, the next point, you create a line. All these points have different points of information. Then they create a triangle, then they create a dodecahedron, then just a square, whatever comes through, like a crystal, you know, tetragonal crystals like this one. They are very, very potent, because they actually work very fast on your spiritual embodiment. Because if I breathe through just, you know, scapulite, I invite the scapulite wave, I go like this, and it immediately connects with a power point in your throat center. Your throat center is the bridge between your brain and your heart center. So the heart pulse with the universe and your direct connect to your source is the most important connection you can make, and then invite your particular space. So here you can work with a white foundation and a crystalline grid, or the purplish Taiwan grid, or there's whatever you fancy. So for this video, I deem it very important you understand that working with crystals from one particular country gives you that particular information. And reason why I wanted the scapulite from Afghanistan, because it works together with the aquamarine from Afghanistan, which is very, very important, because it also works together to what broke everybody on the planet, and that is your creative center in the sacral. I mean, think about people who are bloating, think about people who have a difficult time losing fat cells, think about, you know, you getting angry, frustrated, malfunctioning, all that stuff, all that emotional stuff, that is created on purpose. The emotional body was not there, doesn't exist in a spiritual embodiment, or at least you actually eliminate daily any emotion that may pop up. And when working with the vortexes of that spiritual embodiment, then that goes very quickly, especially with that scapulite here. That has many, many opportunities, because it not only does it delete any trauma or difficult situations in your life, it also opens up your vision, the eye of the divine, higher spiritual embodiment. It assists you to dig deeper. It communicates very quickly, and thus with it, as I said, the sacral was very important, as we write here in the month of, that is the Cancer energy. So my former video was all about the orange vortex, how to get that sacred geometry through these numbers, how to get to align to that and open new. That's really the crystal to go with. And also this is a big one. Usually you have the smaller ones. And of course Afghanistan. So that is very important. Doesn't need to be that big one. A very small one will do. So all three flow together. That one deblocks that sacral, opens up through the orange ray grid. That is the homeland, your home, your space, everything you yearn for, your sacred garden, what you want to create. Why is it not functioning? Why is it not working? All that stuff. This one is a lifter of no time and works in perfect unity with the scapulite from Afghanistan as well. As you can see, it has many compartments. Even I must say I find this very intriguing, because if I just lift my finger here and I open up a little bit on that rock, I can just take that out. So it grows, maybe perhaps against it. I'm not a geologist, but I noticed that I could just, talk with it and, shift a bit. And so I got a cube out of here. And there's, I've got a lot of crystals in that one. But do know, to open up that particular vortex, that's all in the lavender ray. The lavender is the I am presence when completed, all the 12 rays in your light body. That is that cube, a Makiva, that is ready to move into the Master Soul Stone around it. That Master Soul Stone then hosts the 3 crystals, what I've been talking about. So you see the vast difference. This is Brazilian amethyst. This is Peru. You see light grayish. This is deep purple. And then we have the Thunder Bay crystal. That is more like, this one is Thunder Bay. This one as well, this has more like reddish points. And so when you have that set of crystals and you work just like 1 month with these crystals, then you have it all going. You can't possibly go wrong. It's a matter of setting all the energy fields in, all the rays in, and then allow your body to thrive in a purplish grid. The one here that I downloaded in Taiwan goes with the tangerine grid, the tangerine crystal, opening up the sacral to higher creativity, which makes sense because the spiritual body creates all of the time, non-stop. It gets ideas upon ideas because you're straightly connected to the divine, to your spirit self, and thus the Thunderbird of the Holy Spirit can open up in these crystalline geometrical patterns, as well as here that straight line that comes through the spine and opens up through the heart center, that perfect male-female spiritual embodiment, which is an option when you wise, or at least open that gate that is termed Shangri-La in the sacral, Shambhala in the solar. Merging together makes up the new sun stream, the new sundial, and thus you can transition at the speed of light during nighttime. If you like sacred geometrical patterns, if you like designs, if you like to work with languages of light, and thus here as well, what I can merge here for this particular alignment, you can work a whole month. You can call it for for it within 7 months and work with it again and see the upgrades and see your own designs coming through, because all those sacred geometrical designs that come through me offer the option to go further and open up your particular design with it. And thus working with languages of light, working with mantras, for example, I'm one with the spiritual body, with the Brazilian quartz crystal. I am one with the crystalline skull. Digging deeper, what does it mean? How do you crystallize the body further? What are the numbers? What's the geometry here? So I will explain that a little bit deeper. At least the alignment is ready to go if you want it, and you can subscribe to my newsletter. I will send it to you. And so here again, the importance of working with just one country opens up massive other things, especially with that purplish grid that has opened through Taiwan and has a very, very soft energy, and thus there's a lot to it to repair many things on the earth, such because sacred geometry is not only to repair the body and to bring you back into your original space where you resided before birth, so in pure light environment, light space, light foundation, light zones, light tones, light realms. It's a matter of understanding all these words as well, and so they come in one day at a time. And with the alignments to it, of course, I explain what the difference is between a light realm and a light zone, because that is also very, very important. If you love working with geometries, if you love working with crystals, and then quite naturally you work your way all the way up into the body that works on its ascending vibration, and then you get passionate about opening your eyes into the divine measurements, its terms. A measurement is a unit of energy. A unit of energy is a design. A design can be geometric, it can also be a flower, it can be a tree, it can be a sea, because they're all made of geometrical patterns, yet they're more compact. And from a compact, like a compact disc, you can open up many, many, many more informative measures, depending on your questions, depending on your alignment, depending on your passion, depending on your purpose here on earth. And thus, meditation today, especially with the great changes and shifts going on daily, never ending and stopping, it is a big request to start out meditation, no matter your business, because it makes up your business. No matter the family members, because it makes up your family members. No matter your children, because it makes up your children's happiness, joy, passion, and so forth. So without meditation, its origin, its or direct connect to our source in the first place, many forces and sources in the universe, and to the bigger source out there. So that has been our origin, will always also be. So not working with it, we may feel lost all of the time. So if you want to know more, or start out something, or get a foundation with your I am presence, so the spiritual body can rise, and then after that the violet flame can work. If you don't feel a vortex of a violet flame with the 3 crystals with it, it means you don't have your I am presence set in. So you cannot go into one highway you wishing for without doing the work to get there. Because many people, they want to start here and they want to be there immediately. Like, these in-between roads are not to be skipped, and some go that way and that way and that way, and then that way and that way, and then that and that. That's all okay, as long as you get there. But if you want to get here, immediately there, then you cannot skip, because you will fall immediately, because the high level energies, frequencies, and geometrical patterns and refinement in the body, the eyes, the glandular system, we all want the all-seeing eye. Work with it. Then you need the pineal to open up with all your vision beyond the astral plane, because if you have your vision in the astral plane, in the astral dreams, then that catapults you back in the lower fields of density and malfunctioning and lies and betrayal and so forth as well. So at this time, then don't think of it as a checkmate. It's like a natural process. You can imagine, our souls cannot bring to high level information if the body is not refined to that level of integrity, respect, and so forth. So, you know, the more you want at that level, the more you need to refine. And then, but the entire process is so lovable, it's so passionate, it's so beautiful. So you can't possibly miss that out once you start it out. So thank you so much for being with me. There's more information on my blog, where I will post this as well, or if you want to align to my newsletter, be happy with it. Or if you want to do a personal session with me, with the alignment in geometrical patterns, seeing how it works, that's an option as too, and so much more. So I truly appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for liking, leaving a comment, sharing the material if you think it's interesting for you, and thank you so much for subscribing and helping my channel to grow. I am SharlotChi. See you in the next one. Thank you.